Hey, welcome to Bronx Porch Homestead. And it's the end of the month and it's a weekend and it's been a while, probably a week since I've picked up a camera, but I'm back with spending a little bit extra time than I have been spending here at the homestead. So let's spend the day together. So we're starting out this morning putting the chicks back. Just want to show you how big they've gotten. They're almost as hot size as the regular hens. Look at them. Would you say that they're half the size, Banks?
Yes.
They are, right?
Uh-huh.
One more week, guys. One more week, and then they get introduced. Look at them. To the other hens.
Look at her over here.
Wow. Look at her. Look how big the true whiting is.
Look at her.
They're amazing. Look at them. So we are about to put them back in because during the day that's what we do. And David has a fun time catching them.
Come here, baby. You see? There you go. There you go.
There we go. Oh. All right, let's see how he's gonna put the other three back in. This is so much fun. Oh, he has.
Take it easy, baby. Take it easy.
He has the big one. She's a biggie, right? Let's see. Look at her. Oh, she's beautiful.
Hey, you got hair on your face.
She's beautiful.
Well,
That's number 2. They all crowd around over here. Okay, they catch them.
they
Here,
don't want to go back in.
here, they catch them.
Take it
Be
easy.
relax,
Take
right?
it easy.
Oh, hi. Hi there. Beautiful birds.
This is my favorite. Look at the tail on her.
Yeah, she's pretty. It's almost like iridescent, right?
Look.
One more.
I'm too fast for you, honey. I'm too fast for you, baby.
Oh, she's the one that has that odd sound.
Yeah?
But yeah, I think she may be the one that the thread got caught in her
No,
tongue.
I thought it was the ash covered one.
No, I don't know, cause it does sound like her. All right, I'm gonna
All right,
give
that's
them
4
food.
already,
Yeah,
right?
let me give them food.
Okay, put the food in the bottom. They're like, damn, we
So-
got our coop back.
What we're doing now is we're taking the plastic off of the food, and then this way the hens can come out. We keep them wrapped up because we're not supposed to feed the chicks the hen food due to the number of protein that's in there. Not good for their system. All right, here we go.
You ready, Lynn?
I'm gonna give the chicks some food. Oh my goodness, they finished their food already. Come inside, hun.
I wanted to give you a little room.
No, I just want to put some food. So we put the chicks inside from them spending time out at night. And we've been doing this for the past 2 weeks now, right?
Yes, we have.
That we've been putting the chicks inside. So, I mean outside first and then inside. So let me give these guys food. Hold on. And now I give them the water. I have to push it back because if I don't push it back, the other hens come and peck at him. Move. There we go. We got some water in there too. And now they're going to be in here until 5 o'clock this afternoon. These guys already got food, but look, they put it all over the...
They spilled it already?
They spilled it already, yeah. I'll give them some more. So we start off our day with transitioning birds from one coop to another. And at 5 o'clock we let them go again. So chore one of the homesteading in the morning. So in case you haven't noticed, we don't have that drilling in the back, and that's because today's Saturday. So we have the weekend to ourselves. I was gonna go to Hancock this weekend, but David doesn't want to go. So we're gonna enjoy the backyard and work on it. And then I also have some rabbit poop that I need to work on as well. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this quiet. So let me show you what that rabbit poop setup looks like for now. It's the first time that we're doing this. I'm actually going in through the back, and I'll show you what the poop setup drying rack looks like. All right, so welcome to Rabbit's Poopville. So David put them under the warming lights here to dry it out. So we have 2 over here, and then we have 4 in trays. Check that out. That is a gold mine. Rabbit poop. So I've already did a pre-order on my Facebook page. And so I've gotten 3 people who said that they wanted rabbit poop. So I'm going to be cleaning this out a little bit more. This is why I have gloves. But look how nice and hard these are. Nice job, David.
Thank you.
Nice job. All right, I'm gonna get to work. Okay, where now it's a little bit more quieter. You know, tasks like these where I am taking my time to clean things out. Like right now I'm cleaning out rabbit poop, and I'm just taking the pieces off of hay in between. I mean, I'm not going to get it 100% without hay, especially since this is done by hand. I guess if it was done by machine, there's a machine out there that would probably do all this. But times like this is when I actually get a little bit moment to just take a breather. Even though this may seem tedious, it's not tedious. It's a moment for me to just stop the craziness that has been going on for the entire week. So I haven't picked up my phone in about a week, which is why there hasn't been any videos out recently within the past few days. And that's because there's a lot going on. I'm having the roof done, the shingles done in the front of the house, because it's been probably 50 years since those shingles have been even worked on, and they were falling off during rain. During the rain, they would come off in pieces, and I've been noticing this for like just recently, a couple of years, but lately I've been seeing big shingles come down. And also I don't want it to destroy my ceiling up on the 3rd floor as the water comes in. It just has to get done. So that's one of the things that's been going on. And so the homestead has been a little bit upside down The tumblers were moved. The ladders for these roofers have gone up. I have to work my way in and out, weaving out of their way. They're here 8 hours a day. So they've been here for a couple of days. All I know is that the gray shingles up on the house is now protected. They're just finishing up today. So hopefully a little bit of normalcy can come back into my life. The other thing that has kept me busy and away from the homestead is we are finalizing the edible garden at MSPS 20 over by Webster Avenue, which is a school that educates over 800 students. So we're putting in an edible garden in the back of the school. So the size of the edible garden back there is super challenging. It's like a galley kitchen, which is just long, like a railroad size, railroad from one exit to another. So that's been taking up a lot of our times, but we are almost finished with that project. Just another 2 weeks, I think, and I think that we are good. But yeah, it's been busy. That doesn't mean that I have not stopped doing homestead stuff in the morning before we leave the house and go to the hardware store and the nursery and go to the school and go to the community center. The hens always get taken care of. We have been putting the hens at night in their coop, and we've been letting the 9 chicks come out and take over the run at night. I have not filmed the process of that. I'll start doing that so you can see what that looks like. It's a lot of work. Taking them, putting the hens in the coop and letting the chicks out is easy. One person can do that. I can do that myself. I scooch the hens into the coop, and they actually follow. They go right into the coop. They know what's coming. I think after the second day, they kind of got it. And then I close up the coop area so they don't come out. And then I just open the door, the cage door to where the chicks are, and they come flying out. So it's been good. It's been good. I cover up the hen food so the chicks don't have it, since they're not supposed to have it. It's too strong for them still. And then they have the whole run at night. What's fascinating about that is watching the chicks fly all the way up to the retaining wall. So in a way, I'm glad to see that, because if they are getting bullied by the hens next week, they're going to be let out next week. If they're going to get bullied by the hens, they can fly up. The hens are heavy, and they don't fly all the way up, I notice. It seems like they're weight bound. I haven't clipped their wings, which is why they're not out roaming around in the patio. And I'm not going to do that either. There's really nothing in the patio for them to, want. I also don't want to have to go over to my neighbor's house and get a chicken that has flown over. So today is the weekend, and I am spending more time today in my own homestead versus being out in the community doing community work, which is always great, but I need time to do what I have to do back home here. So I am glad that I have the camera rolling, the phone rolling, that is. And it should be a nice long day. At least I hope so. Okay, guys. Well, I am moving myself to another area of the basement. And I'm still sorting out the hay and the rabbit poop. Just want to show you what I am doing. So I'm taking these little pieces off. I've been doing this now for over an hour. Believe it or not, it is relaxing for me. So it's fine. I'm glad that I'm doing tedious work like this. I have spent the last 2 weeks running around like a chicken without a head. Oh my God, what a bad thing to say. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. But I also want to I also want to show a little bit of the succession seeding that I'm doing, because I've done that in between too, all the work that's been going on. So yeah, even though there's work being done outside the home, being done up the block with all that noise, being done in the schoolyard, in between all that, there are little moments where I try to catch up by doing more seed succession planting. Obviously, we take care of the hens every single day early in the morning with coffee in one hand and me opening up the coop door to the other. So it does get done, and it gets done one thing after another. So, but yeah, let me show you the tiny little germination that is going on in the rack, and that's actually going to be shared with the schools as well, but I'm also going to be planting it out in the back. Okay, so this is the new succession of from the ones that we did previously. So I have here lettuce, romaine lettuce, and as you can see, the germination is quite good. Look, all 6 here. I did not want to do the whole entire tray of 50, and that's only because of the amount of space that I have. But so I have 6 here, I have 6 here, you know. This one is called a mustard tatsui, and this one I see 2 of the cells growing, 3 actually. The other 3 didn't, or not making it, I'm not sure, but I overseeded, so we can split those. And I did seed the squash, the candy roaster squash, which are huge. I only did 5 of those. So I'm learning, right? There's also more lettuce down here. This is collards. Look at the collards. They're just coming in, which is perfect. You know, we have more peppers in the back. You know, this is broccoli rapini here. We have more eggplant. So you can see how little they are. Okay, they're little. What is this one here that I turned over? Oh, this one's another one of those greens. Those Chinese greens. I have that here. This is parsley. I just seeded this yesterday. Or the day before, and I seeded 50 of them because they are small. Up here is cucumbers. I don't have cucumbers outside. I will be transplanting these out. They're already too big. This is actually quinoa. I have to plant these in a big bucket, or I have to sneak them in somewhere in the back. I've never grown quinoa before. This may not make it, by the way, because they probably should have been bigger by now. And then this is just a whole set of flowers that I have here. So as you can see, we still are using the, you know, the growing rack here. And I'm going to keep doing succession planting, especially like with romaine lettuces, other Chinese greens, collards, you know, just so that we can continue to grow food. So spending time in the home, not having to run out. I took a break from rabbit poop. I am now taking in what's going on. So I'm in my dining room, and it sort of looks like a dining room. Getting things back to normal. This is where we were setting up raised beds. So this is coming off. And we did add one more element, and that is a fireplace, one of those heater fireplaces that came out of another room since my daughter moved back in, is going back to school, which is a great thing, but that means that furniture needs to be moved around in that room. Yep. So it really is a good day as I'm walking around doing a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but in a very relaxed state. I did do more of the rabbit poop cleaning for like 2 hours, and though that may seem like tedious and boring for some, I actually enjoyed it because it was calming and I got to listen to birds, and I also got time to spend with my hens because I did some of the cleaning out there and they were quiet. I didn't want to put you on time lapse because it really just shows me taking the hay out of the poop. So I'm back here getting coffee, checking out the home. I showed you the dining room. There's a lot of furniture being moved around. That's just the way life is when adult kids move back in for a good reason. Anyway, having more coffee, having strawberries. I do want to show you this though. This is strawberries in a glass. I don't know if you could see that, right? Strawberries in a glass. Well, check this out. This has been here for 3 weeks. So one thing about technology is that good and bad. Bad is all the stuff that comes in that is not true, among other things. And good is that you do get tips once in a while that are awesome. So these strawberries, I bought organic. Doesn't mean they were, but that's what the label said. I bought organic strawberries in those plastic containers, which I do get the plastic containers with the holes in them, and then I, reuse them until I don't reuse them anymore. But for the most part, I reuse them. I put other things in them. However, those plastic containers and strawberries, just like blueberries, I think, they make the strawberries ripen really quick. I don't know if that's done on purpose or if there's a chemical reaction between the plastic and the strawberry, but they get moldy like within 2 days after I buy them. And that I think happens with everybody. So technology on Facebook, on these little reels or these little postings where people put your strawberries in glass and they last for weeks. Well, guess what? These guys have been in here for 3 weeks. I purposely did not eat them because I wanted to actually, experiment. They are perfect in a glass jar that I repurposed from a spaghetti jar. And these strawberries were bought 3 weeks ago. Not even the bottom is bad. So I'm about to enjoy some strawberries now. But yeah, good tip. Put your fruit, your strawberry, your blueberries in a glass jar. They last longer. I can't eat strawberries in 1 day, but I can sure eat 3 or 4 and put them in my yogurt, put them in my cereal, which I've been having lately, which I shouldn't because it has too much carbs. But anyway, I'm having these now. The rest is going to stay in here. 3 weeks in the jar. Not moldy. Good tip of the day. Coffee, 1 p.m. Well, I'm back out here sorting rabbit poop out from hay. I'm almost done, believe it or not. I think what I'm gonna do is every day, now that things are gonna be a little bit calmer, I hope, every day when I take the poop out of the rabbit coop, I'm going to sort it right then and there, at least sometime during the day. So far, this is what it looks like. There's a little sifter in the bottom, and what I do is I shake it up, and by shaking it up this way, it brings up the straw, the hay. And then manually, I take it out. So I know for some people when they see this, they're gonna be like, oh my goodness, I don't have time for that. The way I say, because I rather do this than be that busy. I don't mind doing this at all. It really is hot out here. I'm under the Kwanzaa tree, and at the same time I'm watering the soil in the garden behind me. I am going to do a garden tour. I'm not going to do it on this video because this is a catch-up video just to catch up with what's going on. But the garden looks like Jurassic Garden, as my daughter would say. So I'll do that within the next couple of days. And then we'll really be on updated. So yeah, this is really, really good. So then what I'll do is, I do have, like I said, I have a couple of pre-orders. So this should be really good. Make sure that there is going to be some hay, but for the most part it's mostly pellets and already broken down rabbit poop. But it is a beautiful day. Beautiful outside. It's nice to hear the birds. And I'm actually sitting near the hen coop, and you notice that they're not even talking out loud, communicating out loud. You know, it's funny, when nobody's out here, when I'm not here, I hear them more from my window. It's almost like they want to get your attention. I really do think that chickens are very people social. When I'm out here, they're quiet. They really are. When I'm not out here, it's almost like they are calling, just like, hey, where's everybody, you know? So I'm out here for about another hour. So guys, I think I've updated you, and I've caught myself up, catch myself up. So I've now updated my current state, and that is the roof is done. I paid half the bill today, which was a pretty penny. They cleaned up, which means I can get back to moving around the outside of the house, the patio. And continuing to doing more homesteading stuff here. Now that it's a little bit more relaxed. It was a tough week, it really was. A lot of roofers coming and going, had to leave the door open. There's a lot going on. My daughter moving things around in her room. Getting furniture out. And then community projects outside. So we may not have a big farm, but we sure have homestead activities that are just as important as a big farm. Even more important, especially when the population in cities are so great. And it's this population that I'm trying to reach when I do community service. Everybody expects the city to provide, but when the city can't or won't, people have to be ready. People have to be prepared. Nobody has to go hungry if they know how to grow and if they know how to amend the soil. There's been a lot of talk about contaminated soil in some of the other YouTube homesteaders, and I couldn't agree more. We contaminate our own soil right here. It doesn't, it's not shocking to know that soil is contaminated. I sort of knew that growing up. I've always lived in urban environments, so for me, I've always lived with contaminated soil. And that's unfortunate that it's spreading out into larger landscaped areas. That's when it's a huge problem, because we depend on large landscaped areas who have, who have a business that feed a denser population. And when the soil is contaminated in that area, it causes a problem because it trickles down. I think we really need to learn more about soil and respect it more. People think it's just dirt. Soil is not dirt. Soil is life. Something to think about as I clean poop out. All right, guys. Until the next time.